Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have Dongers out in the jungle. Heimerdinger in the jungle. So, the story behind this. I wanted something off meta, something fun. I wasn't sure what else I could find that was viable. And then I found someone in our Discord who I've been working with a little bit to get to Master Tier, making good climbs, D1, D2, runs into a Heimerdinger jungle and loses. And I go, let me have a look. The jungling isn't perfect because usually we look at Master Plus high elo only content, but this guy is making very big strides in terms of getting himself to Master Tier. So we asked the question, can you get to Master with Heimerdinger jungle? Let's find out and see. You guys let me know in the comments your conclusions. Obviously, I already covered a game, basically I did the intro, but it was a bit too wishy-washy and weird. I do like that we get this little ward here just to see any invades, but obviously if someone's like a Graves or a Kindred, you're absolutely screwed. Make sure you ask your team to help you out a little bit. But this is absolutely normal here if you need to protect your interests in terms of the jungle. He was a little late out of the gates in this one. Runes on your screen now, so he's not got the setup he usually has, but the clear speed overall, respectable. Not beautiful, not ugly. Kinda, it just is. I mean, people are for some reason picking Vi in pro play when a clear speed is giga slow compared to meta, so hey, why not play something else that's a little slower? But again, you can always cut your clears. There's no real need for you to, you know, do a full clear and try and match a Hecarim or a Diana. You're not going to, right? With First Strike, obviously we want to get those cash monies to get over the fact that we're jungle Heimerdinger. Our infusion will be less than if we're in the mid lane. What we're trying to get to is that late game point where we just become Heimerdinger, that mid to late game point where Heimerdinger is all that they're thinking about, not jungle Heimerdinger. Let's see if we can. Obviously, we're going to max W into Q into E because the W gets obviously your main damage proc as well as the CDR scaling. The beam damage and cannon damage from your turrets is the only thing that gets improved when you max Q, so we'll do that second. Always clear the spell that either allows you to clear faster or gank better. So in Zyra's case, I do like maxing E because yes, it does help me clear a little bit, but it's really good for my ganking and fighting and disengaging, which I need. And I don't really need it to clear fast. If you wanted to farm and not gank, then you can Q max. So in this situation, obviously, I'm not a fan of people dragging camps out this far, but it does provide you, and we see the arrows, it's kind of spoiled. It does provide you a bit of security. So normally we would want to bring the camp into the bush so that they don't see it. We see them coming, we can make the appropriate decision. Obviously we have top lane prior as well. If you are really concerned about this and you just don't want to be fighting, you can drag it out so they don't see it even longer because they have to get around the edge of the map, edge of the corner, and then you can smite it away and get it. And obviously you can lay down your 3 turrets. 3 is the maximum turrets, again, depending where you're from. If you lay the 4th one down, it will remove 1, so only use 3, don't accidentally tap that button, and you'll stash it up here. So we drag the red camp out, we make sure we want to see if Lee Sin's going to steal it, but we really don't see anything in this case, do we? This is really, really close. I don't like that we see nothing. You know what I mean? I don't like that we're pulling it and it's just a corner and the dude could have easily stolen it. Obviously, the junglers are going to do this at a meta. Obviously, they're going to try and react to this. He does have mid lane prior. It's in mid lane Ezreal. I'm getting PTSD flashbacks. We're getting low here because we're forced to kind of play a lot more defensive. And that's the thing about these picks, right? You think, you know, I can clear fine. I can do my job. And then you get invaded, and all of a sudden, instead of clearing well and using the kiting mechanics you have available to you in order to play safely, to clear quickly and healthily, you're forced to play safely where you kind of sit in bushes and you tank a lot more damage otherwise. So, obviously, we're going to give up the crab. We see him go to the bottom side. He shows up with just a blue buff, 12 CS. You know he did blue side. You know he's doing that, 16 CS. You know he's going directly here. Your bot lane should be aware of this. We are currently on the Krugs, as you can see, getting quite low, but we do have a smite charge in 14 seconds. As you would have seen, doesn't go for anything sort of, you know, doesn't go for a more Dark Harvest rune set, but if you did, the Cosmic Insight is pretty good in terms of your trinket usage and your smite usage. Illaoi is overcommitting here, flashes onto the Garen, gets stunned in place, and then zapped with a W. So, that's a dead Illaoi. Overcommitment, not tracking the jungler, and again, Lee Sin goes bot lane. They didn't track this, they didn't notice this, and here's what we want, ladies and gentlemen. A decent first clear, safe. Speed is not important, safety is important. Getting all our camps, controlling our jungle, and trying to get a gank off. We're trying to avoid the enemy jungler, and if we get a gank off and hold lanes, we shall do so thusly. Seraphine Scion bot lane. So here, the only reason you would move on down, I just had to rewind it a bit because I completely messed up what I was saying. A language is difficult sometimes. is to steal a second Grump, because you know he did blue Grump Wolves into your invade, so you know that that Grump will spawn in that 415 to 420 mark, especially seeing as he was bottom lane. But you kind of also know that they saw you go down, so the Lee's most likely heading in this direction, right? But if he doesn't have his red buff here, you know that he also didn't do that red buff, so he might decide just to go to the red side. Things you need to pay attention to. And in our case, for example, we take away this, we see, look, we see this, right? But was that information available to us as Jungle Heimerdinger? Yes, it was. Because we hold top lane, you place your turrets, you get that bonus movement speed around your turrets and turrets as well, allied turrets, and you see Lee Sin go bot side with no red buff. So all of a sudden, you're tracking the CS. There's no real need for you to worry too much about him going to the top side. Now, if Lee Sin was feeling aggressive and saw you move on down, he'd expect you going to the Grump, but I don't think that Lee Sin would mind, because then he can easily take all of this and vertical jungle and kill your bot lane again, which, again, puts you behind. So I think there was a play where we could have moved on down just to hit this, just to take this. We don't have flash, though. But I do think that's a kind of decision a normal jungler would make. I would make that as volleyball. I'm taking your Grump if you're Lee Sin. And if I don't see you, I'm taking your Wolves, and if you come, I'm just going to kill you. End of story, you know? As an off-meta jungler, that is obviously not something you can always get away with, but definitely track and think about this, because meta junglers will be very aggressive against you. Now, this is the most important thing. Let's watch it. Here we go. Turrets. We can place 3. We can dodge aggro. This is exquisite. Look at this. No smite, though. It will be up very, very shortly. Tank a little bit so our turrets can do their job, because we need the charges on the Q. Oh, hello, Lee Sin. Wait for the Q. Execute! Oh, we outsmited Lee Sin. Vega roams from the mid lane, tries to get the stun. Lee Sin's forced to flash. Moving is Ezreal. He safeguards to the mid laner. Idiot. That was good. I can't do that as Zyra. Can't do that as Ornn. But because of the turret not dying until it gets destroyed, in fact, you can lay 3 and tank it yourself and you get the burn damage heal. Okay. The fact that you can solo objectives is something significantly underrated. Woof, that should do us. Come on. There we go. Number 6. Obviously, we want to scan as we're approaching. Very, very good. We see the ward here, but they're low. We know Lee Sin was in the area, but if he shows bot lane again here, contesting the dragon level 4 with a fresh red buff, you know the dude didn't do his blue side, right? So the call there from the Heimerdinger is, I assume, if I didn't realize that he did red, that he's going to go top side sequence down so I can get away with the dragon take. Obviously, having a control board for that is very, very important. I have no issue kind of waiting here, because you clear the ward, they think, is the jungle still there? Is the jungle still there? Is the jungle still there? Double stun ult into the W. Beautifully done. That was exquisite. Good patience, good execute, and the bot lane is forced to kind of go, did he leave? I have no idea, because they have no vision. So Lee Sin obviously is going to go back to the top side now, because there's nothing here. We hit this just to see the Ezreal, although I don't really think we need to, but defensive measures are always good. I think in-game, making that executive decision to say, listen, I don't know what this diamond jungler is going to do in terms of pathing. I might as well just get some protection from the vision. I do that all the time as well. You know most likely that you're going to lose this. So you can make, again, 2 decisions. We do have 1,000 gold in pocket. You could simply stick to your blue quadrant and repeat gank bot lane through the lane gank, or you can now make a move to defend your red buff versus the Lee Sin invade, which we can kind of anticipate is something that's going to happen, or Lee Sin's just going to take the Herald. These are the questions we have to... there you go. So it gets stunned. You see, this is why we drag the camp into the bush. We exhaust, we get kicked, it doesn't matter. Vega stun, and Belgian marksman, representing Belgian, smacks one down with a marksman spell. Make sure you use a turret aggro a little bit, stun to kite out. Very well done. This is showing you a lot about jungling in general, by the way. You don't have to be Heimerdinger. If you are any off-meta jungler and you're afraid of an invade, they're just dragging to the bush. They cannot see as they approach the bush, but you do. And you can make the aggressive play. Alawi once more in a bit of a rough spot here, getting tentacled. Soraka ult comes through. Kind of low on mana here, so we can just try to kite it out, keep our distance. Beautifully done. Hey, so if you want to gank an Alawi, just be a Heimerdinger jungle. What do you think, guys? This ain't so bad. 3-0-2. Controlling the map, got the objective. You're not gonna buff my teammate, says the Lee Sin, yeah. Says the Lee Sin, who ganked bot lane, didn't think about the tier 2 Grump or Wolves, contested a dragon level 4 instead of just saying, you know what, I have to give it up because of lane prio, and I can keep sequencing. Because if he just kept sequencing and gave up the dragon, he could have gotten way more things on the map, but instead he wasted time trying to steal the dragon at level 4, because dragon. Diamond jungles for you, ladies and gentlemen, that's the big difference. They do not... High elo junglers do not waste their time. We do see the movement down to the bottom side here, and Caitlyn's very, very low. There's Lee Sin. He doesn't have ult, obviously, because he used the dragon kick on the Soraka things. Soraka things. Soraka things. Very good support. Die for your ADC. That's it. And still gets one back anyway, because Soraka's broken. Well, not broken, but she is sniped. We actually secured the Herald, so excuse me, I'm kind of focusing on the game because I think that's vital. But again, let's have a look at this. In the meantime, while that was happening, doing the Herald, 3 turrets placed, making sure to alternate aggro as much as possible because you don't want the turrets to be destroyed. We do have 2 in pocket at the moment that we can replace anyway. Garen helps us, not that we need it. This is exquisite. Obviously, go to my friend Rezone Games. We just call him Rezone. You can go to his YouTube channel or his Twitch stream if you want to learn how to play Heimerdinger. I don't know how many mastery points. Greg, how many mastery points do you have now? With 18 million or something like this? Not quite, but go watch him if you want to learn how to play Heimerdinger at peak level. Come here to learn the jungling, fuse them together, and I think this is something that, while it's giga off meta, it provides enough unique surprise and turnability in terms of damage and CC that you can really do a lot. You can punish people's over-aggression against you, and you can punish basically anything that they try and throw at you. And you can sell objectives, which is the most important thing. Bit of counter jungling here, 219 cash monies. We'll take that. Obviously, stopwatch, futures market, as well as Cosmic Insight, or just trifecta of great runes. Again, Alawi overcommitting, and who cares at this point? Just make sure we don't get yeeted. She's flashing, of course, which means she avoids that ultimate, but the damage is disgusting. We save our E as much as possible, and now we get ultimate but silence into Doom. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Doesn't matter if she flashes the turret or whatever. If you can hold your E, it's the same thing as any other jungler, right? Throwing your E can burn a flash as long as you have subsequent damage to burn them. Like throwing your CC or your gap closer and then they flash means you don't have anything left but damage. So make sure you have the damage, like in Heimerdinger's case, to actually clean that up, or try and bait out their flash with a big ass turret on your Q, and then use your E afterwards, after the flash, so you get the stun. So layering your spells is most important. I know that was a bit confuddled because I'm thinking about Heimerdinger while I'm trying to explain it at the same time because it's not second nature to me. This is not something I've ever had to think about in my life. Obviously, Seraphine ulting to kick into root. I don't know where Lee Sin was going, to the moon, I guess. And then goes in onto the Soraka, activates his Iron Spike whip because he doesn't have the gold drinker yet. Sion says, I'm going to go for it, and still doesn't get it because Soraka, again, mega champion. We use a Herald on the top lane there to elevate the game state, move directly down to the bottom lane. We have TP from Veigar with Predator. Off we go! Now representing Belgium in a bad way. We could go and hold mid lane, but because we elevated the game state, Garen can do so. My brain is thinking the correct thing, so I apologize if I've reversed things when I say them out loud. I have no control over that right now. We'll focus on the jungling at this respect, but we have 5 in W, 2 in Q at this point. Sion's obviously going to move here after death. We get collapse stone. We dodge the Q because we can. We dodge that one using movement speed of the turret. Very, very nice. We use the exhaust. We're in a bit of a menage a quatre, but we don't really want that at all. So that's probably a little bit greedy on the counter jungling. If your team are resetting dead and you kind of just willingly walk in and you don't have good tight pathing, you will be spotted and you will be doomed. Close though, and well played overall. Leandri's is complete. Come on, respawn, sir. There we go. Out of the base. This is fun though. This is, you know, I like this. Like if you guys play Dota 2, you know, Nigma, Zyra, you've got micromanageables, we can call them. Turrets, plants, and little void demons. So, I like Maokai too, but you don't really control the saplings, but you get to use the saplings. These kinds of things are fun for me. It adds a certain dynamic to the mechanics and what you can play around in terms of outplaying enemies. I like it. Hold the mid lane there, Zig's thumbs up. We see the plant get hit, obviously, so we're gonna scan just in case someone walked into our house without taking their shoes off. We better clean the ground and then swear at them for disrespecting the rules of the house. Bring your mud inside, make sure you clear the vision, and now we can just sequence up and focus on a farm. The farming is definitely less than some of the other videos I've watched, but I feel like, you know, if you farm too much, you're kind of really coin flipping the game where you don't really want to do that. We can drag these out now together, as most junglers can, or he's choosing not to at this point. There we go. Smite it, take it, we enjoy it. Let's see what the game looks like at this point. Let's take stock of the map. We're ahead nicely. Lee Sin, once again, bottom lane is going in on the Soraka, hits his Q, doesn't matter, silence field. Cyan is going to ult there. That's a very good... The Seraphine's making this lane, and nothing else can be done about that. I mean, they're going to be mega ganked with that lane. I mean, that's all Lee Sin can really do, which means, again, if you want to win games, doesn't matter what jungle you are, hit turrets, ladies and gentlemen, hit turrets, push the map. You know, you have a lead at this point, you're feeling very confident, you're double buff level 10 ahead of the Lee Sin. You see 3 people bottom lane going to take a tower and not push this. Make sure you yourself push this. I do think here, rather than going for counter jungling, we should anticipate the Lee Sin's coming, so we should shadow a bit more. But again, that's not really your fault. Okay, we get the ult bounce on the E, because that can stun multiple targets. Should the situation allow. Well, what's the exact terminology? What's the exact terminology here? It says something in the wiki. It doesn't even say it in game. It's quite funny. The multi-bomb bouncing of the ulted E. Again, that's not your fault, but it's kind of something you gotta read, like Vega, back up, let me ping you. Yordle solidarity, as it were. Hold the mid lane anyway. If that was your choice, Garen pushes the top lane and now leaves, hopefully, again, dodges a Q. So, I mean, the skill difference is intense. Seraphine's obviously going to roam because their bot lane tower is dead. They're going to reset. Time now to take the mid lane tower. You know, if you look at it from their perspective, mid is nice because you can push this in and then collapse on the sides. If you take these and mid's still pushed out, then it's kind of dark from the blue team's perspective. It's a V, so it's more difficult to kind of move around the map. You really need to pay attention to vision control when you take side lanes before mid lane. I do like taking side lanes before mid lane, but specifically, like, I'd like taking top tower, you know, and then forcing bot into a mid rotation very, very quickly. I like to quickly take the outer turrets once I elevate the game state, because I don't want to have this kind of darkness zone in the map where it can allow my team to split push and die, because they will. You know what I mean? Hopefully you're following what I'm saying here. That's just general jungle macro. Second Herald is available with turrets, silence, good job Soraka. Cyan ults in again, we hit the eyeball, oh, we get it, which is nice, plus 100 cash monies. Again, mega stun into turret damage, because of course they will now autofocus people who get hit, and they die. So, I think we have some tilt, ladies and gentlemen. And in Diamond, if you want Master Tier, the tilt is what we need to thrive on. Also, it's a little bit of a grind. Good skills there to dodge, use the movement speed around the turrets as much as you can. Don't get in a position here where you're going to die, because we don't want to die again. We've got 5 stacks on the Dark Seal. Kite behind, use your Soraka, use your Garen, use your turrets. Vladimir, Vhagar is there. TP is in. Again, gonna flash, point and click. Doomed is the Ezreal, we'll take that as well. Belgian Maximum strikes again, then he misses again, so 50% hit rate. Gets the root, alright, good. Well, there you go. So, thank you, Heimerdinger. Good job, Vhagar. And now we get a 3rd dragon. This is not something I honestly would have anticipated. I'm not gonna lie to you. I knew he could do this, but the level of control that he has, as long as you're playing the map accordingly, is very, very impressive. Here, I kind of like trusting my team. I'm not gonna lie, do this as well. Just, you know, you should, in theory, just rotate and kill them and then take the free dragon. But I think at this point, that's unfortunate, because Heimerdinger can very easily steal dragons and barons. There should be no reason with smite that you lose one. The Cyan is not going to do 1,000 damage to the dragon insofar as I know. So just let him Q it or damage it, get it under 900, and then smite it. If you didn't have smite, if you don't have smite while doing a dragon in this situation, then definitely rotate and help your team. I mean, don't finish this off if you don't have smite. So those are the 2 scenarios. But typically if I have smite and I'm really far ahead, I'll just take the 3rd Drake. And if they need me to rotate, I will do so afterwards. And now, obviously, with 3 points in Q5 and W, our clear speeds should be pretty quick. It's definitely not as quick as a Morgana or Zyra in terms of its scaling. I'll tell you that 100%. Definitely slower. But as long as you're moving around the map properly and holding waves, I think you can get a lot going. We kind of want to hit this. That's nice. We do. And now we want to see the Seraphine. We have a flank here from the Vhagar, Stun, Cage, Event Horizon. Backlining still kills the Ezreal. Heimerdinger is kind of floating a little bit too far away from this. I think we should have moved up, because Alawi is obviously coming. I can see that. Q misses from the Lee Sin. Heimerdinger is just using a bit of zone and wave clear. We're waiting for the Soraka to come up. Oh, Lee Sin, you don't want to do that. Against a Heimerdinger and a Garen, you don't want to yeet within a tower range shot, because you're going to get silenced or you're going to get stunned. Back to base. Anti-heal, giving us a little bit of value. I think, obviously, with their team comp, the anti-heal is definitely something you want to get, so that's nice. Void stuff early, interesting. Normally we would want to go Death's Cap. All right, he does go Rabadon's Death Cap second quite often, most AP damage, but in this situation you've got here the dildo item on Lee Sin, and that's about it. So, actually, I started that off like I was expecting there to be more magic resist, and for some reason I was, but there is not. So, I don't really think you need Void in this. I mean, this is definitely, Void will do good work here, but I mean, this person's got Plated Steel Caps, this person's got Ione Boots of Lucidity. Void is obviously very, very good to do that true damage, but I don't really think it's like must rush in this situation, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You could easily just have your Shadow Flame build and Death's Cap, and it should do more than enough in this particular game. Although, yeah, because the Sion's also going AD. Alright, I'll let Rezone Games dish out the item tips for you on his channel whenever you guys go and stop by his Twitch. He will often explain if you ask him questions, but from a logical point of view, even as a person who plays AP, I would not be rushing a Void in this game whatsoever. I'd go my core itemization. If I do rush a Death's Cap, which I don't personally, then fine, but usually Shadow Flame here would be absolutely fine. Because the shielding is noticeable, so you do get that benefit, but also you get that huge, I mean, the item is good even without the shielding component. Just gets rooted as he tries to as he tries to insect. He's lucky to survive because we have the Soraka turret's doing a lot of work. Landry's and turret, I mean, he's gonna die from this. I know that feeling. That's a very good feeling. You die, but you get 2 plates, two kills or whatever from Leandri's plants and turrets. Very, very well done. So, turnability once more comes through big time. Nice. Well played. 518, what's our damage like? 2,800. See, the Veigar's gone Rabadon second. Veigar V2 for Veigar itemization. I'm not even going to begin to attempt to go over that. Every champion has a few little nitty-gritty changes, but definitely I think Shadow Flame would have been huge second here. No need to rush Void whatsoever. You are attacking the Lee Sin a lot though, so you're not looking to coin flip this Baron. I'm having a fat chat, but you're not looking to coin flip the Baron. So if you're not going to burn it down very, very quickly and they rotate, just kill them and then do the Baron freely. But if you can melt it down, smite it, and then fight, because they're not going to get there in time, obviously do that. I mean, the damage, that was quick and nice. Veigar's done a good job of split push and TP. And despite a few misses, there we go. Veigar will hit the stun, thank you very much. Very nice, this is good. Nice control. Because you're not going to get like a typical 1v9 super game where you get pentakills and 20 kills a game, you know? That's not what we're playing here. We're playing map control. Dude got RW'd as far as I can see. Which, by the way, look at that magic. Look at that Hex Tech Rocket Swarm. 1,176 damage. You can see that? You guys can see that. The bouncing grenade that discharges 3 times is 357. And obviously the big ass turret, which doesn't count. Okay, hold up. Another fight. Here we go. Again, turnability. Huge on these champions. Use your movement speed, dodge the spells. That's why I like Relentless Hunter on immobile champions, because you can play around that, and then you can use your... I wish it would tell me, actually, I would love to see bonus damage as a byproduct of the magic penetration. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I would like to see that on this item. Again, Lee Sin, like this should be Soul. I think we can totally agree that this should be Soul plus Baron, plus Ratio, plus whatever else you want, and now you can push waves and it should be absolutely free. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting. Let's see where we're at here. 1,000 reduced, worth, baby, worth. It's not huge, but it's noticeable, you know what I mean? But definitely think Shadow Flame plus that is good. 10 stacks. Could magize this if you get it a little earlier, but I think sitting on that is absolutely fine in a lot of cases. Specifically when you're being focused. Event Horizon hits, and the Veigar's damage is nutty. Plus the Heimerdinger's damage, plus the silence from Soraka. Again, super good. Playing front to back here is very important because you need to make sure you're kiting your spacing. Spacing your kiting your spacing, keeping your spacing, and kiting to keep it. Whatever that means. My brain is mush. For the last 2 weeks, my brain is just total mush. If you understand anything what I just said or anything in this video, congratulations. You watch a lot of my content because sometimes I have no idea what comes out. Oh, nicely done. Again, easy though. We do the bouncy. Stunned, Event Horizon. Just kind of skirting the edges here. All right, Lee Sin is going to go in here. He does get the kick. He does get the kill. Hex Drinker. Mortius goes through. Sorry, I had a bit of a freeze lag there with Streamlabs, so I had to restart that. Now we can chase down, hit the turrets, and it should be a free inhib. Flash, I mean, they're just tilted. So, in summary, clear speed, Giga slow, but serviceable. Safe pathing will win you the day. Tracking will win you the day. Vision will win you the day. Make sure you're practicing avoidance, holding lanes, and looking for counter jungling where you can. Once you have that lead, or at least a bit of tempo control, you can easily control dragons and heralds and ping-pong the objectives. Following that, your typical jungling takes suit once you have your items, and you can basically know, you gotta know who you can fight and who you can't fight. Do your business as you would normally. I mean, nothing changes. Pretend you're just a mid lane Heimerdinger running around the map, taking jungle camps and killing people. Exactly the same thing. Don't overstay here though, please. Yeah, I mean, there you go. There's no reason to overstay to try to take the second inhib. Once your team is down and they're going to be respawning, I mean, I'll just speed this. Here we go. Boof. Down goes the spinner. There's no objectives for them to take. But if you're taking the soul, for example, I think what's most important here is if you had literally taken the soul, right, and the next dragon was Elder, and you overstayed and to that degree where Elder was going to be really, really soon, and you give them the possibility of warding, of protecting the area, of making a pick, and then getting Elder, you kind of screw yourselves, which is why early souls aren't good if you're going to mess up the macro or overstay and make stupid plays. So we're waiting for the Illaoi to push here. There's no real reason for us to be pushing mid lane. It will push itself. You can just kind of catch it. But you want to push this and you want to push this. 100%. Yeah, there we go. Cut through. Baron's going to be spawning. We've definitely been pushing top lane. Garen bot side without TP, but that's fine. Looking to trap here. Throwing out that. Gets a slow, but nothing else. No sweep spot damage. That Ezreal ult doing a lot of damage itself. Elder, sorry, not Elder, but next dragon is spawning as well. Yeah, I mean, I think we could have definitely pushed this a bit harder. And now there's a fight and we're ditching, but we're returning. Very, very good. Make sure we do that. Garen is flanking, so we shouldn't be ditching in the first place. And now we have the flank, and we have Predator, and spins, and exhausts. Make sure we do the chase down here as much as we can. Ezreal, Caitlyn's able to kill the Scion. Predator activated from Veigar. Flash silence. No one can follow you, Garen. Diamond engage. This is what I'm talking about, by the way. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, they're lucky. Okay, so Heimer just wasn't in this. I think it's pretty obvious he didn't need to be in this, but don't coin flip it. If you need to be in it, be in it. Rotate, follow. As much as you can. The Garen was definitely moving in way too aggressively that no one could follow, but let's just chalk that down to diamond things. So, what do you think? A little bit of a scuffed voice over there. Apologize again. Just fatigue, brain fog. It will go away. We'll be fine soon. Don't worry. Just need a few days of sleep. Batman tonight and so on. What do you guys think? Do you think this player with this kind of style will be able to get master? I think if he's disciplined, and that is a lot of master plays, as you can see there from the rel thing, there are a few master plays in this game. I think he can, and if he does, maybe we'll do a follow-up or something like that. Very interesting. Check out Rezones for how to play Heimerdinger and all the itemization that I might have whiffed on, but definitely think that a Shadow Flame was a good item in this particular game. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Please do like, share, and comment if you did enjoy. Main channel has the best junglers tier list. Patreon is coaching and coaching VODs. And as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.